What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Takara Tomy Masterpiece MP-52+SW Skywarp version 2.0. So this is the final one in the set of new Seekers with the MP-52 mold. They chose this very strange numbering scheme. Here's the collector's card. I don't know why they're doing MP-52+SW, but the Thundercracker was plus, and then the original was just MP-52. There's his tech specs. I always like these cards. Nice thick cards now, so I like how they're doing these, but that looks good. Nice artwork. Here is the figure. I did do an unboxing to kind of show what it looked like out of box. I love this color scheme. So it's got just lighter than black. It's more like a very dark charcoal with the Decepticon logos there. You got the purple and white stripe. Obviously the wings on the back are purple. It is a lighter shade of purple. So this is the flight stand. And you can see it's definitely not as dark as that purple. And here is Fans Toys Grenadier and his purple, and you can see it's also lighter than that. So it's basically a lavenderish purple. It's not super light, but it's not dark either. It's kind of right in the middle. So it does look nice in my opinion. Now he does come with all the same accessories and all the same gimmicks. I'm going to try to go over them very quickly since it is relatively the same. You can't open the cockpit. You can't put the original Dr. Arkeville figure in here if you still have that. It does fit in there. It does have the opening nose cone with the radar dish. You can move the flaps up and down on the back. You can have the longer version of the null ray if you want. They do transform, but I'm going to keep the shorter ones. Here are the engines. The engines are aimable. You can move them in different directions. You can take the blast effects here and those will plug in. You have to have the engine pulled out. If you have it pushed in, it won't go in all the way. But those look really nice. These are slightly different colors than the others we've gotten, just a little bit lighter in terms of the yellow. But there you go. You can also take the Megatron gun, which they keep giving us this over and over. It would have been nice to get maybe a little piece in each one for the coronation set. Like maybe one comes with a crown, one comes with a shoulder blade, or two shoulder blades, one comes with the cape. You know, just put it together. But unfortunately, that has become a Japan-only exclusive. Or not getting it here in the United States. So we get this gun. Yay. But he can't hold that and fly around with the same Megatron gun, so we now have 3 of those. You also get the flight stand just like we did on the original 2. You can take this adapter piece that'll plug in right there. There you go. And then that fits right on here. Oh, it looks like they tightened this up a little bit, so it does seem to hold a little bit better. That's nice. Okay. I don't know if they just tightened the screw or fixed the tolerances or what, but that flight stand definitely seems to be holding better than the original. So there you have Skywarp next to his mold mates and brothers Thundercracker and Starscream. They look really good together. I really like how the set turned out in terms of the contrast of different colors. I know they're all the same mold, but it just really looks nice. Now, I am going to be showing them all in robot mode, but I just wanted to show you the jets and how they compare. Since we've already transformed this in prior reviews, we're not going to transform it on camera today, so we'll get them transformed off camera. But if you need help with the transformation, I'm going to put out a video on this guy on how to transform it, so that if you need the help, you can go get it. And there is Skywarp in all of his glory. I don't know why, I really just love this color scheme, but turned out beautifully. Let's take a quick 360. Of course, we'll put the cartoon there so you can take a look. Got the gray paint here on the chest. A little darker gray right here. You do have the missiles here underneath. Those look nice, painted purple. Nice purple on the arms and the null rays. Here's the back, same as all the other MP-52 molds. But the color scheme just really stands out on this guy. It really looks nice. So there's the stock face, just a straight kind of non-smile. There's the kind of yelling face and Ah, Megatron's coming. And there's a smiling face. I don't know, this one is a little off, but it's supposed to be like a smirk, but it's more like a smile. And there's sort of a laughing or maniacal laughing face. I kind of like this one. Now all the faces are slightly different in color. So here is Thundercracker. You can see he's got a slightly more metallic color, where this one's more silver gray. So they do have slight differences in the face color, but these are interchangeable faces. So if you want to use them between each other, you can. All right, let's go over his articulation really quick. The head is on a rotating panel that lifts all the way up, so you can get way down. You can put that neck back down. You can get way up. It does break the sculpt, but if you put it down low enough, you can really get anything. Side moves all the way, and you get side to side just based on how you use that joint. So everything you would need there. These pylons here are supposed to sit like that, but if you bump into them, they do kind of move down, so you have to readjust them. Shoulders rotate around on a ratchet, out to there on a friction joint, which is inside the shoulder. Butterfly joint gets you all the way out to there. And then inside the shoulder, you have a joint. So you can get it all the way up if you need to, because of the two joints you have there. The null rays go out on two joints, and then it rotates. So you can get that however you would like. Right? You can really just point it however you want. You have a double jointed elbow, just the way it's designed. You kind of have to utilize this one back here, which is supposed to be locked, but you can unlock it and get the full bend. Or you can lock it and just get the single bend, which still gets pretty far, even with just the one joint. Rotation at the wrist. You have individually articulated fingers. The thumb is on a swivel there. And then each finger is individually articulated at two joints, 2 pins. And your rotation, and you have in and out dice roll movement. No waist swivel. You do have an ab crunch. It is locked initially, so you have to kind of unlock it here. There you go. You have hip skirts here on the front and the sides. Goes up to there. Nice tight ratchet back to there. Out to the side on a ratchet as well. Rotation at the thigh. Knee is single jointed. It's very loose, but due to the sculpt, you get the full bend. This definitely needs to be tightened, so I'll be taking care of that. Ankle tilt that way, this way. If you have the heel extended, then you don't get the much tilt back and forth. You don't really need it. But if you have it extended, it kind of locks it in. But you do get this way and this way. I do find this angle is tighter, much tighter than the original Starscream mold. There you go for articulation. And for size comparison, there is Skywarp next to the MP-36 Megatron and the recent Fans Toys Acoustic Wave, and fits in really nicely. He is nice and short compared to those guys. Maybe too short for some people. For me personally, I like the size, but I have heard some people say they feel like he's a little too short. And for another comparison, there it is next to the Deformation Space Thunder, and since we don't have Skywarp yet, I have to show you with this guy. We will be getting that Skywarp very soon, probably this week, but right now we have this guy, and you can see much shorter, just overall proportions are smaller than the Deformation Space, but there you go for comparison. And for another comparison, there it is next to the other two Seekers, Thundercracker and Skywarp. And my, this looks so beautiful together. I love the final look of the colors and the overall just paint scheme and everything. They do have slight variations in the blast effects. The Skywarp is purple. These are like a darker pink, and these are a lighter pink. And then same for the blast effects for the engines. Those are slightly different colors on each of these. But for the most part, identical accessories, identical molds, identical faces, just slight different variations in color on all of that. So let's start with the positives. I love the paint scheme on this guy. I think it looks great. I didn't even mention the kind of teal in the knees here. Whereas this guy's got the light blue, and then Starscream's got the gray. I really like that it stands out, and it obviously cartoon accurate. That's really nice. It's got the same articulation and the same accessories. I like all of that stuff from before. No changes there. Negatives wise, I still have the same issue. In fact, it's probably worse. So the knees on this one weren't bad at all. I didn't have any issues. The knees on this one were a little bit looser, and now this one is the loosest of the three. So I really wish they had fixed that. Due to the weight on this guy, it's full die cast up here and up in the chest, so you get a lot of weight up there. And because of that, these knees need to support that. And the looser these get, the harder it is to stand. Now, I'm probably going to go in there and tighten these screws and put in some Kiki for loose joints, and hopefully that helps it out. It did help on this one, so I'm going to do it for this one as well. But I just don't feel like we should have to do that. So if that's going to bother you, the price point that this is at, roughly $250, depending on where you bought it, then this may not be the set for you. Me personally, I think these are the quintessential version of the Seekers. I really do like them. Now, I'm also getting the Deformation Space Skywarp. We'll take a look at that later this week, and we'll do a full comparison with these guys so you can see them all together and kind of decide for yourself. But either way, you can't go wrong. What a great set. Glad to be finished with this. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.